Welcome to the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon video series. I'm your host, Captain Matt, and today we're talking how to sell your pontoon or tri-toon fast for top dollar. So as we go through today, we are going to talk about 3 ways that you can sell your pontoon before you sell, best place to sell your pontoon, the number 1 way to get top dollar, how to set your pricing, warnings, and scams that you need to be aware of. So we're brought to you by the Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon Toolkit, a free toolkit you can grab at boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/toolkit. You can pick that up for free, a boat ownership calculator, and 2 special videos that you can only get when you get your toolkit. So if you're looking at selling your pontoon and getting something different, this is a tool that you'll want to pick up. Now, there are 3 ways to sell your pontoon. You can sell it yourself, you can trade it on your next boat if you're buying another boat, or you can use a broker or do a consignment. I'm going to give you the pluses and minuses of each. Selling the boat yourself, you're likely going to put the most money in your pocket. I say likely because it's not always true, but you're going to have to do all of the work yourself. Say you're going to have to do the pictures, get it all prepared. You're going to have to do the description. You're going to have to put it up on the websites. You're going to have to promote it. When somebody's interested, you're going to have to respond to text messages, phone calls, emails. You're going to have to deal with tire kickers and dummies that are trying to buy your boat, people that offer ridiculous offers, scammers. You're going to have to handle all of that yourself. But on the flip side, you get to put all of the money in your pocket. The next is you can trade it in on your next boat. If you're buying from a dealer that accepts trades, you can take the easiest option. It is the dealer will give you a certain amount of money for your boat. They'll take it. You get your new boat. It's easy. On the flip side is that's the way to get the least amount for your boat. The least effort, but the least amount of money. And then the broker consignment is kind of in the middle. You find somebody that's going to be honest, ethical, represent your boat, and promote it. They handle all the consumers. They take a fee for service when they sell it, either 10% of the paid amount. So if it's a $50,000 pontoon, they'll take $5,000, or a consignment where you say, I want to get $35,000 out of this pontoon in my pocket, and then they try to sell it for as much as they can. So if they sell it for 45, they get 10 grand. If they sell it for 37, they get 2 grand, and that's the consignment. They do all the work. They do a majority of the work. You get a say in the final pricing, and then you pay a fee for service in that. That's kind of middle of the road. Although at times, a broker or a consignment, they can actually get more money for your boat than you would if you sold it yourself, because they may have a good one, will have a database of buyers for your type of boat, and they'll have more demand for it. But that's not always the case. So those are the 3 options. We're going to talk about selling it yourself. If you're doing a brokerage or consignment, they're going to give you similar information. If they're a dealer, this is what they're going to do with the boat to market it. And so this is some inside information here for you. So before you sell it, the first thing you'll want to do is detail the pontoon. And when I say detail, I mean clean it top to bottom, bow to stern, scrub the tunes, shine the tunes, scrub the motor, scrub the inside, take out all of the stuff, handle any cheap cosmetic repairs. So if there's some dents and scratches on the fencing, if you can get that out with compound and some wax, do it. If you can pop out the dent, do it without causing any damage. If there is some nuts and bolts and things that need to be tightened, if there are some little nicks in the upholstery, you can get those fixed. There's a company called Dr. Vinyl in my area that does a great job. For $100, they can fix a couple little dings in the upholstery. Do the maintenance on the boat. Have the oil changed, the gear lube, the impeller if they need to be changed. So when you're marketing it, you can say recent maintenance just completed. When they check the oil, when they check the gear lube, it's nice and clean, and everything is in great shape. Gather the service records. If you've done the service records and you have them, or you've done it at a dealership, ask them to print those all out for you so you can show every year you winterized the boat, every 100 hours you did the proper service, you broke it in and did the 20-hour service that was required. Show all of that work so that you can show them how well the boat was maintained, how well the motor was maintained, and then do the annual service if it's due. The other thing that you'll want to do is you'll want to run the boat and go through all of the systems. Make sure everything is operational. So flip all the switches, turn on all the pumps, trim the motor, trailer the motor, put the stereo on, check all the speakers, check all the lights, check everything on the boat to ensure that everything's in good running condition. If it's not, maybe it's a quick and easy fix, or at least you know that this is an issue and you can handle it appropriately. And then remove all of the clutter from the boat. Take everything off the boat except for the safety gear that you'll need when the right person finds the boat and is going to sea trial it before they buy it. So that's the Coast Guard throw cushion, a handful of life jackets. Maybe you can leave the anchor on just in case there's an issue, the fire extinguisher, but everything else take off. Take off all of your towels and clean out the glove boxes and clean out the storage compartments with the old sunscreens and the towels and the floats and the skis and the fishing gear and all of the stuff that collects, and just have it nice and clean. When they detail the pontoon, whether you do it or you hire a detailer, which is what I would recommend, somebody that's really going to go to town on that, they're going to pull all that stuff out anyway so they can clean all the cracks and crevices. It's a great time to pull everything out and stack it up. If you're going to sell that with the boat, take a picture of it all laid out so people know what they're going to get. You can put that in the listing. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But when you restock the boat, just put the basic safety gear on that's needed. 1, the boat will perform better. 2, it'll show better, and they can see all of the details of the boat. They'll look like there's a lot more storage. It'll give off a better first impression. Next, once you've got the boat prepared, everything's ready to go, you want to write a complete description. So you want to put all the specs on the boat. So all of the numbers that tell about the boat, the LOA, the overall length, the beam, the dry weight, the horsepower of the engine, the make and model of the engine, the make and model of the boat, the year, the make and model of the trailer and the year. So all of the specs, all of the things that can be quantified, put that in there. All of the options. So list every option that's on the boat. Docking lights, AM/FM stereo with Bluetooth, JL audio speakers, 6, bimini top, canvas cover, snap-in carpet, seagrass carpet, 5-step boarding ladder. Everything that's on the boat you want to get credit for and let them know it has it. Then the engine hours and the engine information, the trailer information, and use bullets. Make it super easy for people to read. What happens a lot of times is people will write all this stuff out in one giant paragraph, and then they wonder why they get calls asking a question, hey, how many hours are on the boat? Well, you put it in there, but it was so gumbled up and everything else that people didn't see it. So organize it real nice and neat. Use bullet points. Use space and paragraphs and white space to make it real easy for people to read that complete description. And talk about how you use the boat, why you're selling the boat. Put all of that in there. And what that's going to do is it's going to limit the people that call for dumb questions. It's not going to eliminate it, because you're never going to eliminate that, but you're going to limit that, and the people that respond have all the information, and they're more likely to be serious people. Now, we do this first because the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do some marketing. So we're going to price the boat properly. We're going to look at NADA guides, and we're going to see what average retail is, what low retail is. We're going to go, if we have access to it through a broker, we're going to go to soldboats.com, which is a database kind of like the MLS for homes, and it's going to list all of the boats that have sold and been reported. and what they were listed for and what they sold for. You may or may not have access to it. If you do, it's a great tool. You're going to go to Boat Trader and Craigslist, and you're going to look at what similar pontoons, tri-toons with the same horsepower trailers are going for or listing for. And you're going to watch the market, and you're going to use that to help guide you on the price. And you're going to start maybe a little bit high, knowing that every week or so, depending on the number of responses that you get, that you may need to drop it down $500 or $1,000 at a time until you get to a point where you're getting some good traction on leads coming in, okay? And remember, you've only got one boat to sell. It only takes one buyer, and figure out how much does it cost you to hold that boat every month, so that you can kind of figure out, okay, if I give a $1,000 discount and it costs me $700 to keep this boat a month, well, then maybe I want to sell it a little quicker. If the boat's paid off, insurance is cheap, you have it stored in your driveway, you don't have any storage fees, well, then guess what? Maybe you can be a little bit more aggressive because it doesn't really cost you anything other than potentially the depreciation. But you're gonna get that number based on that research. Then you're going to take a lot of great pictures from all angles. You're going to get every component. You're even going to show the blemishes so that the people that are responding know what they're coming to see, that it builds trust. It builds the relationship of, oh, this is an honest person that I'm dealing with. And although this is titled Sell Your Boat Fast for Top Dollar, I'm not saying rip people off and misrepresent your boat. If there's an issue with it, you need to fess up to it and don't take advantage and don't stick it to somebody else. It's just not the right thing to do. What you do want to do is you want to build that trust and show that, hey, I'm an honest and ethical person, and I'm going to show you the dings. I'm going to show you the scratches. I'm going to show you the tears in the upholstery. I'm going to tell you about some of the negatives of the boat while putting the boat in the best possible light. And then you're going to video the entire boat, and you're going to use that description that you wrote earlier, and you're going to use that somewhat as a script. So you're going to say, hey, this is my 2015 Bennington 25Q whatever. It is 25 feet overall length. It's 8.5 beam. It's got the 275 whatever. You're going to go through all of the specs of the boat, and then you're going to walk through all of the components of the boat, all the options. You're going to point out, and this is where there's a little stain in the seat. You can see it right here. It might come out. It might not. We've had a lot of great memories. It's perfect for water skiing. It's great for wakeboarding. You can do great fishing with the fishing setup. It's perfect for cruising. Whatever how they're going to use the boat, use that in the video as well. And then you're going to do a call to action and tell them, what do you want them to do? Texting is probably the easiest way to interact with people. You can use an email address. You can drive them to a direct website if you want. But in that video, you want to put down how you want them to contact you, okay? You can put that up on YouTube. You can do that for free. And now you've got a video that you can use to help promote your boat. So let's talk about the promoting. Once you have the description written, the photos taken, and the video created, what are you going to do with that? Well, the easiest thing you can do is put it up on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is offering a boat segment now. And then once it's up on the Facebook Marketplace, your description, your photos, your video, your call to action, how you want them to respond and interact with you. And now you can share that on Facebook groups. So you can put it in the Pontoon buyers group. You can put it in Pontoons for Sale. You can put it in your manufacturer group on any of their social media. You can put them in the local lakes or waterways or whatever the local boating groups in your area. And you can go 250, even up to 500 miles away if people would drive that far to buying your boat. You can put it on The local Facebook. Maybe there's a local buy and sell group that you're a member of on Facebook. You can pay and put it on Boat Trader and get the exposure of the search engine on Boat Trader. Depending on the boat you have, that may or may not be I think it's $50, $75, $100, depending on the level. That may be a wise investment. There's pontoonsonly.com. There's some pontoon specific ones that you can use. You can use Craigslist. Craigslist is going to get a lot of scammers, but it's a great place to sell boats, and it's free for just consumers. So that's going to be the promoting part. But the key is that you have an excellent description, you have a ton of great photos, and you've got a complete video that shows this is exactly what you're getting. That's how you're going to expand your marketplace from, a 50-mile radius of where you live, people that'll drive up to an hour, to somebody that says, you know what, I'm going to drive 5 hours to get this boat. And you open up your marketplace, which gives you more demand potentially, which is going to help you get a higher price for the boat because there's more people interested in it. Now, you can also promote the listing in the video. Just share it with friends on your personal social media and do that weekly. Don't think just putting it out there once is going to sell your boat. Put it out every week. Put a different notation with it. Put a sign on the pontoon. Put signs at the marina and landings. Remember, you've got the photos, you've got the description. You can put that together, and you can put the link to the listing on, view it on Facebook, the Facebook group, whatever, Facebook Marketplace, and people will be able to find the boat just by the year, make, and model. If you typed it into Facebook, they'll be able to find that. And you can put that on a listing. Make sure you get permission. Think about any boating stores, boating locations where that might make sense to put up a little flyer. Now, I would love to hear your comments. I've got some tips for you on the scams to avoid and warnings, but I would love to hear if you agree that the best 2 days of a boater life are the day that you buy it and the day that you sell it. If you liked the video so far, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're always doing additional videos, but warnings. So here's some things to look out for when you're selling it on your own. This is why the brokers and the consignment dealers will earn their money, is because they handle all of this stuff, those that want a boat ride. So those people that just respond and before they talk about anything or ask a question, can I meet you at the lake for a boat ride? You need to know how to handle those people. And one of the best ways to do it is say, depending on the price of your boat, say, yeah, we can absolutely do that. What I would like to do to make sure you're serious is get a fully refundable deposit. And, it could be $100, could be $500. Any dealer's going to do this. And if they balk at that, then, okay, maybe they're not ready for that effort that you're going to put in to take the boat to the landing, get it all ready, go out and be out of the water for, 20 minutes to an hour. If they've watched my videos, they should be out there for at least 20 minutes, making sure everything's in good condition. So you want to know how you're going to handle those people. There's also some scams that you need to be aware of. With today's printing capabilities, it's real easy to fake a cashier's check. So I'm going to encourage you to avoid cashier's check unless it's drawn on a bank that you can walk into, present it, and get the cash. Okay? Or it's drawn on your bank. Because it's real easy to forge that, and there's been stories of even boat dealers getting hit by this scam. Same thing with wires. Wire transfers are a great way, but there's a delay between when the wire transfer is pending in your account and till it posts to your account, which means that the money's yours. That pending period, they can actually still pull that back. They can pull it back, and it'll show up that it's getting ready, it's pending in your bank, but it's not hit yet, and they can actually pull it back. So you want to watch out for that to make sure that if you do a wire, which I think is a safe way to go, that wire hits, and then when it posts and it is confirmed by the bank is when you release the boat and the title. Out of area buyers, there's a lot of coordinating that needs to go on, because how are you going to handle the money aspect of it? One of the best ways to do it is, if you have a loan, is to go to the bank that you bank and say, okay, I'm selling my boat. What do I need to do? And if they're financing, you can go to their bank and you can handle it through the banks. Let the banks handle it back and forth. If you're doing it cash, greenbacks are greenbacks, and that's a great way to go. A cashier's check, make sure you go to the bank that it's drawn on, and don't let that boat leave with the title until you know the funds have cleared and you know that there's nothing going on. And another warning is ignore the lowball offers. You're going to get some dummy that offers you $5,000 on a boat that's $50,000 of value, and they know it is. Don't get upset. Just ignore them. They're not going to buy your boat if they're offering that low of an offer. Just ignore them. If you do want to respond, if it's just on that verge of being offensive, hey, maybe they're just a serious negotiator and they want to see what they can do. The best thing to respond is, no, the price is whatever you have it listed at. If you're serious, come look at the boat and you can see why that's a justified price. And then once they come and look at the boat, now you've got them at a point where you can show how strong it is. You've already shown the video and the pictures and the great description, and you can get them up if they're serious. If not, guess what? No big deal. They don't have to buy your boat. You've only got one to sell, and somebody, when you write a great description, have great pictures, you've got a good video, and you've priced it based on some market research and not just throwing a number out there that seems right, you're going to sell your boat, and you can just ignore the scammers, the lowball offers, and have a game plan on how you're going to respond to people that have one of the boat ride that sounds like a scam, that's out of an area, or that is a lowball. You just know what you're going to say. Don't be emotional about it. Don't worry about it. And, just do your response and move on to the next one. If they reply again and they're serious, great. Now you can engage them and you can try to sell the boat. So that's how to sell your boat best for top dollar. You can grab the toolkit. If you like this video, subscribe. We've always putting up tons of news videos. YouTube has recommended a few for you. Like I said, like the video, put a thumbs down if it was terrible. Leave a comment. Let us know if you think the best 2 days of a boater's life are the day you buy and the day you sell, or if you have another take on it. And we will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody.